Scene, and we're back. We're back. Nothing on YouTube yet. No chats yet.
No, it must be a slow day then.
Yeah.
Probably everyone is on holidays.
Must be a day that ends in Y. Yeah, let's just see if, I just want to see if we've got quests for... Oh wait, that's not the one I want. Well, the bank SCU is fine. It's shotguns that I care about.
Here's the funny thing though, how the fuck does this company still somehow have some goodwill left? Haven't they burned through everything out of it already?
Marketing.
There's always sheep.
Well, it's also marketing. Trust me, when I say you are not immune to propaganda. No one really is. I mean, as much as I talk about how much I hate Blizzard, Activision, this, that, and the other, if they came out with a game and it received wild praise and it actually looked like they're starting to turn around, I would genuinely consider getting it. And Diablo 4 for a little while looked like it might be, but I gave it a little bit more time, and sure enough, it didn't. It just takes a little bit of time. Those games will be around for however long they're going to be around. It doesn't matter. The problem with the always online services for me is that, you know, eventually they decide they want to cut ties. It's almost impossible to actually play it.
Well, look at the prime example of that. Overwatch 1, what was supposed to be the golden goose of FPS games for Blizzard,
And they killed it.
It's dead. It's completely dead. Completely dead. Replaced by a similar game, but with a more aggressive monetization scheme.
And the one promise that they made is that Overwatch 1 had to die, so Overwatch 2's PvE gaming could live was an absolute outright lie.
It was an outright lie.
Oh, is this the other Truxican standoff thing? Yeah, it is. Let's do this real quick.
Probably. Yeah, I think you can do it. I think you have more of a better idea of it.
Oh yeah, I remember this one.
I know this one.
It's a long story.
No, it's a short story. I write short stories.
I write short stories.
Shut the fuck up!
Oh, those idiots still screaming.
Just shut those morons up so I can get some sleep. And, yeah.
It's... Let's see.
One of them. Let's see.
It's Jim. If I remember right.
Damn it, Jim. Why would you do that? Alright, let's see.
Look, between you and me, can't lose the thief. When we were making out, he was all, yeah, baby, I'm gonna steal all that money. And I was like, no, don't do that. And he's like, oh, yeah, baby, I'm
Shall I blow Jim? As soon as we question him.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all lying. Yeah, like, it's Jim.
How do you know it's this Jim fellow?
I've done this one so many times.
So, like, this guy said, oh, Cantler, he says Sam's full of crap, but they're all lying, right? So Sam said something else, and this guy is saying, I'm only sure of one thing, I didn't do it. So we can question Jim.
Dead.
Dead. It's that easy. Oh, sweet. I love these shields. Is that better than the shield I currently
stole the cash, right? He stole.
Yeah.
I believe there's another reason. Take a look at the back. Take a look.
Wait, hold on. Roy damage.
Take a look at the back of Jimmy Boy over here. Jimmy Boy. He has a big dollar sign on his backpack. Big.
Oh wait,
Yep.
wait, where is it?
Yep. His backpack has a big dollar sign on it.
I don't see it. Where'd it go?
It must have.
Yeah, it must have phased out of my thing.
Right
Okay.
here. You stand from right here, you should be able to see it. The big black dollar sign.
Why's it gotta be black?
Racist!
Well, yes, but aren't we all?
Some more than others, I believe, but sure, I'll go.
Anyway, sorry about
Here's the
that.
thing you were telling. You said that they were that Blizzard was saying that they killed Overwatch 1 so that the PvE of Overwatch 2 could live.
Yeah,
correct?
and then they turn around
Yeah.
months later and said, we're sorry, Overwatch 2's
too hard,
PvE cannot be done. We have to put it behind a monetization scheme.
It's too hard, dude.
Alright.
Yeah.
Is
that's
the quest up here? There's a couple quest givers up here.
There's probably too many quest givers right now.
There are, and most of them are quests that we don't really even need. I'm trying to find the ones for the Arid Nexus because I like the ones for the Arid Nexus.
Explain it to me again.
Truth is
This is
relative.
funny.
That's just in. That's the guy.
Those Hyperion newscasters say
Okay, and that's the Sawtooth Bandits. I don't care. Bank?
he's in the Arid Nexus. Pay him a visit and send him.
Well, let's see.
Okay.
All good with that then, I suppose.
Oh, did he? Oh, okay.
Where's the-
Alright.
Here's the thing, by the way. You notice that apparently Overwatch 2 is gonna actually release on Steam on August 10th?
I'm not surprised.
Yep. And guess what? The forums of discussion of that game are already a trash fire.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, you
Okay.
can consider how much of a failure that is to admit without admitting that it's a failure.
Of course, you have how do you call it? You have this following thing. When you bring a Blizzard game into Steam, you bring the same kind of audience that participates in the curated Blizzard forums. You put them in a place where there's no curation, or at least very little curation in comparison, and you get a trash fire. Because guess what? The fans of Overwatch 2 believe that all criticism comes from quote-unquote salty TF2 fanboys.
Ah.
I mean, the several degrees of delusion they have in order to actually believe that, claiming that somehow Overwatch 2 revolutionized the FPS genre. I'm like, are you fucking smoking pot? Because I want some of that. I want some of that pot that they're actually smoking in order to believe that shit.
Yeah. Are we ready to roll? Like, cause that was the only quest that I could find.
We've been ready to roll 3 minutes ago, buddy. We're good.
Oh,
Yep.
alright, cool.
I'm good to go. Just needed to sell off some stuff.
Which brings the following question into topic: When do you think Blizz started to actually go downhill?
It's slightly before the Activision merger, but Bobby Kotick accelerated the decline significantly. They may have had a chance if they saw their numbers dipping to say, hey, this is a thing that we could do to fix the barrels.
You said this.
I mean, I genuinely think that, you know, like, Blizzard... Okay, so the way I like to look at this, right? The way that I always look at... the way I always look at this stuff is that the company that blank made is not the company that made blank. And you can apply that to a lot of different stuff. You can apply that to a lot of really interesting... topics. You can say, oh well, the company that made World of Warcraft is not the company that World of Warcraft made it into. You could say that about CD Projekt Red and Witcher 3. You could say that about a bunch of different companies. And some companies have, like EA has always been a scumbag publisher.
That's true.
So the problem there gets into, well, what is it? Are they just scummy? Are they this? What's going on? But the reality is that they okay, Alpha Go. The reality is that Blizzard started off making great games and really fun stuff, and then the focus on here we go. The focus on World of Warcraft made a really, really big deal out of it, to the point where they started seeing that people were, oh, I thought you were stopping.
This just in, Pandora. The bandit scum who killed Jack's daughter has just set the Old Haven orphanage ablaze.
There we go.
Alright.
But yeah, so it's kind of just this interesting.
My axe is thirsty.
Where are you? Where are you?
I'm coming up.
Not you, Hunter Hellquist.
Let's get this out of the way first. You mentioned something about the thing that you said that the downfall of Blizzard happened before the... Because
World of Warcraft is such a big property in... son of a bitch. Well, that's not cool. World of Warcraft was such a big property that they just couldn't let it go. There was no way, right? Like, these things don't just happen in a vacuum. Activision Blizzard saw something in...
Someone help me up. I'm guessing I'm
Activision Blizzard saw something so big in World of Warcraft that they could not resist. They couldn't resist turning around and taking something as big as World of Warcraft and turning it into a big cash cow. So naturally they were going to be attracted to something like that. But World of Warcraft was suffering from some minor issues along the way that really kind of turned it into these crazy things that you see today. Did he drop anything? No, just a smig.
Do explain though, I mean...
Well, right, so you talk about the sheer level of cash that World of Warcraft was bringing in. It was at one point it still is probably the... Oh, hello.
And so chaos across Pandora. These pathetic bandits claim to have opened the vault.
Someone can actually shut this asshole up. Even dead, he's annoying. Even...
Yeah. But yeah,
even dead, he's still annoying.
Essentially, World of Warcraft was so big and had so much potential for cash that it would be stupid of them not to try and capitalize on that. And the greedy among them absolutely have every right to absolutely have every right to sit there and say, well, we could make money if we do this. And,
among them, like,
the intelligent and the customer-focused ones among them.
You mean what was the name of that ex-president of Blizzard? Black?
I don't remember off the top of my head, but you understand what I mean, right? At that point, it's like you either excise the problem components, or you... Oh yeah, here.
I remember that fellow you had. Now I remember the name. J. Allen Brack was the ex-president of Blizzard that had to actually step off after. Well, I'm not sure why he had to step off exactly, but it wasn't a good look, as I say. A good look.
Okay.
Because he was one of the people that was in one of the Q&A for one of the World of Warcraft games. They asked him if there was going to be ever the possibility of classic servers happening, and you know what he said?
He said no.
He said directly no, and then he followed with, "And you really don't want to do that. You think you do, but you don't."
Well, and guess what? Now we've got classic servers, and they make a lot of money because people forget just how great classic WoW was. That's about to blow up.
Yep, that seems around right. But yeah, that dude basically was a big cunt.
Yeah.
And only that, dude was basically chuckling at us for his non-apology after the whole Reforged thing.
Yeah, and Reforged was a pain in the ass. It was stupid. Alright.
Yep, the Ballad of Blizzard, where they can't even do a proper remaster right.
Yeah, but there had to be an inflection point in their business for them to even be considered like a target for Activision to even want to join in the first place, and World of Warcraft was it. That's the thing that people forget, is that, at some point they... here we go, okay.
Yeah, you were saying?
Sorry. I was, almost dying, that's all. Don't worry. Don't mind me.
Oh.
Pumping station... okay. Okay, the pump station's over this way. My bad. Where am I going? Okay, we need to get... Whoa! Alright, hello.
Oh, that can be good. That can...
Yeah, basically, the money, the draw of money is too... Oh, I actually just can't go that way, right? Can't drive there. The draw of the money is just too good, and that's the problem. There had to be some point at which they just decided, what are you firing at? What is this? What is your turret doing, dude?
He's firing at a... I'm not even sure what... Oh, he's firing at something behind this, I'm starting to ask question that myself, too.
So, when you think about it, right, like, realistically, uh-oh. Oh, I got one anyway. Activision Blizzard had, before the merger, there were serious issues at play, and the draw of the money is what allowed Activision to take control. And once Activision took control, then it was, then it was a dangerous thing. I am gonna die up here.
Oh no.
Stranger danger!
There we go. Okay. So, there's a lot that's involved. Why is this RPG loader not dying? Oh, that's a loader too.
And dead.
And it's a dead loader. Got it. Stealther.
Love my turret.
No, there's a lot going in. I have no illusions that there were issues at World of Warcraft long before. Oh, wrong.
Angry! I'm angry!
Yeah, so, but I played Vanilla and I played Burning Crusade. I played World of Warcraft a long time ago back in the day. I enjoyed it, I loved it, but I stopped playing it. And I slowly started seeing everything just go downhill. And it was kind of sad, but I just said good riddance to Blizzard a long time ago. As much as I wanted to keep enjoying it and playing it, it was not good. And the classic servers came out, and now we see how terrible those are.
I've always wondered, how was Burning Crusade?
I liked Burning Crusade, but not as much as the vanilla. But then again, I was a big fan of the 40-man raids, and they took 40-man raids away and started 25-man raids.
Oh, that sucks. Oh well, pretty sure that could have at least gone something, anything.
Okay.
Seriously though, that was awful. The way that somehow a developer from a big pedigree in video gaming then turned out to become a husk of its former glory.
Are you surprised? I'm not. It's such a shame, but that's just reality. As soon as a big publisher, and it really, I just said, a big publisher is not the starting cause of all this whole thing, but they accelerated it drastically. The moment that Activision came in, they basically came in and said, we're taking control and we're doing this. Despite what they all said, they absolutely took control and made things the way they wanted to. And they didn't care about the customers.
Yeah.
Bobby Kotick is famously saying, we want to take the fun out of gaming.
Makes me wonder why the fuck does he think he actually sounds any degree of logical saying that.
He sounds perfectly logical to someone that's money-minded. Fier, are you coming? Where are you at?
I fell off.
Oh, use any catch a ride station. You could just teleport to the vehicle. There you are.
I'm closing in.
I see you. Yeah, I was like, oh wait, did you fall next to the other one?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, if you fell right next to a station, you could just say, like, hey, Where's the vehicle? And you could just teleport right next to it. Oh, there's a badass that spawns at this little outpost right here.
Nah, that's not it. You know what? I'm out of there. I'm out of there.
Hit me, hit me, hit me, come on. Not that hard. No, I got hit too hard.
We're gonna get the fear up.
Yeah. I'm just gonna go rage mode. Where are they?
Yep. Just keep smacking the guys behind me. Hell, there we go. Oh no. An exploder loader. I'm not sure where he is.
Okay.
Dead. Here's the thing, though.
No, Bobby Kotick makes money, and that's exactly what he needs. It doesn't matter if he's the only one, if he's 1% out of millions of people that pay attention to any of this. He and the other 1% of people that actually care about making the money over everything else, it's what needs to happen if he wants to make his money and justify his obscene paycheck. That's it. That he is money minded, and that is exactly what they hired him to do. So that's what they get.
Yeah. And they also got a toxic work culture and all the bad, along with whatever success they thought they were getting.
Well, I mean, I think the reputation of the work culture was taking a nosedive when apparently butt plugs were a thing in their office. So.
Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, at some point it's gonna like.
I'm not sure who was the one that they caught basically with a butt plug, but when I heard about that, I was like, yeah, you know what, you're correct. This place is full of degenerates.
I mean, at some point, right? Everyone has weird issues with workplace culture and this and everything else, but they let it get out of control and they don't stop it until they're caught red-handed. That's a grenade right there.
Yeah, and even then, I'm not going to exactly be trusting the state of California and actually doing a good job at prosecuting Blizzard. So.
Ooh, I don't even need it. Oh, okay, now I do.
Oh, there it is, and it's falling down.
Ion loaders. There's one more big baddie right there. Alright. I think that's it.
Curious how you call it. It kind of feels in a weird way. It feels really awful to know that a company that you used to think pumped out high quality products will end up becoming this corpse of a company.
Yeah, and oh, hello. Okay. Unfortunately, that's sadly just the way of the world, and it sucks, but that's kind of just the way business goes. Uh-oh.
Mm-hmm. We went from the, here's the thing, we went from the company that released one of the most successfully critically acclaimed video games of all time, which was Warcraft 3.
Try like 5 of.
Yeah,
you got Warcraft, the whole Warcraft series, the entire StarCraft series.
Diablo.
The Diablo series, Lost Vikings, they've got so many great hits and wonderful little gems, and you're right, it's sad and kind of terrifying, but at the same time, that's at some point we just need to stop and be like, all right, well, that's it, we're done.
Here's the thing, though, they went from the company that released have you seen the scores of Warcraft 3, the original one? The original one is valued at this 95% critic score on Metacritic plus 9.2 user score.
Yeah, it was great. It was widely proclaimed an incredible success in every way.
And then comes out Reforged. 60 points of critics on the critic score on Metacritic, 0.5 user score on Metacritic.
Yeah. Sadly, what do you expect? And that's like, and I know you have done your research into many of the reasons that I was not good in many ways, and you know, I get it. It's kind of like, oh, hello, what was that?
Oh, just toss bomb and garbage.
Oh,
Then we got ammo for it.
all right, yeah, cool.
But yeah, the point is that imagine having somehow I'm actually surprised because you would think that there were instructions manual on how to do a proper remaster.
Nah.
For fuck's sake, they were the same people that made the original Warcraft 3.
But that would require them providing resources and... Where'd you go? Fine, I'll hit this RPG loader instead. Or not, he dies.
He dies, he had a heart attack, dude.
I didn't realize they had hearts to have an attack with.
It's fucking Hyperion. They probably built their bots with fucking rogue AI on purpose.
No, there we go. All their stuff is just that bad.
Oh boy.
Okay, field turret.
Hello?
Oh, was someone dying? Oh shit. You're
Ah,
up.
there we go. Oh, Archie scored a long-range crit kill while on down mode.
Nice.
Okay, and that's a highlight.
You're gonna have to highlight that yourself. If you can somehow backwards record it.
Imagine, right? That would actually be pretty sweet.
There's a few more enemies off in this direction. Come on, Commando Man.
But it's funny how in the end, I think that there's a valuable lesson on this whole thing. Companies are not people.
Nope, they're
They're
not.
just there to basically provide a service and a product.
I'm gonna fall down to you.
And the problem goes that that companies all they want to do is sell the product.
We're all dead. Oh boy. Alright.
Climb down.
I'm coming.
Climb down. No, I can't.
You tried so hard. Oh, I tried. I couldn't fall down off the edge of it. I had to slowly crawl down the thing. That's such a pain. Let me find.
Yeah, I just ran right smack into a BA loader. So.
That's super badass loader. Oh no.
Uh-oh. Where? Badass? I see it.
I am very cornered here. I require lots of support and a lot of hugs in the process.
Send help and snacks.
Right.
Oh, well, I didn't have law out, so,
I swallowed your soul. Keep the blood pouring.
I saw you. Where are you? Oh. Field turret. I think that's all of them? There's some racks around, that's about it. Oh, okay, so the racks actually...
And here's another thing that I remembered.
Shit. That's not how...
Until today, I didn't know that Heroes of the Storm was actually a fan-made game.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I knew, like, that would be so painfully on brand for Blizzard, it's not even real. Imagine that. They wanted Dota and they couldn't get it because it was a fan game. But
then apparently the fan game started to take jabs at some of the weirder aspect of Warcraft and Starcraft storytelling. Like, for fuck's sakes, you had basically Sylvanas in Heroes of the Storm calling Kerrigan out on her aspat tendencies in StarCraft 2. Like fucking Sylvanas! I'm just basically calling Kerrigan out on the bullshit that she's basically getting herself off scot-free after the shit she pulled.
Yep. Well, are you fucking surprised? Like, there's so many... when you run things for that long and that far into the ground, you gotta expect a little bit of nonsense.
Yeah, and then apparently Blizzard, for some fucking reason, decides to kill off their entire esports scene of the game for... I'm not even sure they provided any statement about it.
They made an oopsie by trying to get... Wow, that actually got some airtime that time. Alright, cool. Basically, Blizzard Activision has this really bad history of being late to the party. To the point where they consistently try to do things, and it doesn't work. It keeps just not working. Wait, what's...
So, it's a reverse Todd Howard. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
But here's the funny thing, though. They were actually not doing bad at all. Their numbers were not that bad for what's supposed to be a MOBA game.
Yeah, no, and it's unfortunate as it is. You know, they actually tried, and they just... It wasn't a moneymaker. And that's why it had to die.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted a cash...
Despite building up an esports thing around it, and... yeah.
That's really what it was. It was supposed to be an esports moneymaker, and it wasn't a moneymaker, so they killed it off and put it entirely into maintenance mode. They're just like, we're not developing anything else for it. We're sorry, but get fucked.
Get fucked.
And that really shows Blizzard's allegiances. They are not there for the customer anymore. They are there... Instead of, you know, like, saying, oh, well, we got all these money-making properties, why don't we do some nice things for the fans, for the people that actually built up this company from the ground up, and do nice things. And no, they can't do it because it cuts into the bottom line. Even if it doesn't cut into the bottom line, it doesn't make enough money to justify its existence. So we can't do it.
I believe that's also something to do with a shift on the perception of the customers when it comes to like the mindset of the larger corporations right now. Here's the funny thing. Guess what the customer is nowadays for those companies? It's a hostile element. Why is it a hostile element? Because a customer that knows about his stuff gets in the way of the profits.
Oh, hello. Is that a badass gag? That is a badass gag. I'm gonna kill that real quick, like.
Basically, yeah, the modern customer for most of these companies now is basically someone that gets in the way of their profits.
It's just a blue.
Because how dare they get into... How dare they ask for a quality product? How dare they ask for commitment? How dare they ask for actual trust? They're suckers.
That's not a bad rifle. Okay.
They're suckers. They need to actually know their place.
Yeah.
Because they're piggies for us.
Yeah, and I think if it had been Blizzard North right now, they'd have been doing things like that.
Well, and Blizzard North is, you know, it's sad as it is. Actually, is this a way down? It is. I think this is how I get to this treasure chest that was in here.
That's what I generally think, is that for most of the now more major gaming and entertainment companies, we're pay picks now for them.
Well, and that's what it amounts to with all of them. Really? It's just a white rocket launcher? That's lame. I'm not even going to justify picking that up.
We're currently pay pigs. We're basically just there to throw them money for the minimal effort.
Yep, that's exactly it. Alright, I'm gonna go through the door. Let's go.
And I'm sorry, but I'm not for that. So if they really are gonna treat me like this, then fuck you. I'm just gonna pirate. That's it. But here's the funny thing, though. I'd like to think that part of the reason why they also decided to cancel Heroes of the Storm is that they probably threw one too many jabs at the Blizzard writers.
Yeah, it kind of really did. But those are the kind of people that cannot take a joke. They can't take a joke. They can't just sit back and relax and be like, hey, you know, this is funny. I know it's at my own expense, but, you know, it's funny. I don't care. Let's just have some fun. They can't do it.
They can't do it. They can't take a joke, and I can agree with a lot of the portrayals in Heroes of the Storm is that the Heroes of the Storm portrayals of the Warcraft characters, they have one thing in common. They're from the days of either before World of Warcraft or before Cataclysm.
Yeah, and about 90% of the Warcraft fan base started during started during World of Warcraft, so nothing that is there from before Warcraft, from Warcraft 3 or before, makes any sense to those people. That's part of why the Warcraft movie was not as big as people wanted it to be, because the reality is that was the start of the Warcraft canon, 100%.
Yeah, to be honest, that movie.
Besides the whole debate about, oh well, I mean, green bad, orc bad, this whatever. Like, aside from the Hollywood magic and, you know, simplifying things for a wider audience, most people that went were fans of World of Warcraft and were expecting to see that. They didn't know how to react to this stuff.
Yeah, well, here's the thing though. Even if I actually know about it, I had a lot of my issues with the movie for one thing: the strange idea of mixing both animation and real life actors in one blender, if you know what I mean.
That's funny enough. It's actually a shockingly, as uncommon as it is not by any means an unknown art.
It is not an unknown art, but I'm one of those that still thinks that it looks jarring as shit.
Yeah, but if it's done to the right effect, like in, what are those movies? What are those movies? There's Who Framed Roger Rabbit. There's crap, I wanted to get up there. There's Who Framed Roger Rabbit, there's Space Jam, and those are really loved and wonderful movies that people enjoyed.
Yeah,
like
but
the original Space Jam. Space Jam 2 doesn't exist to me, I don't care.
Yeah, but I had a feeling that those were more traditional 2D and drawn handprints for it.
And they were.
They were, but World of Warcraft was full 3D, and in a way it felt a little bit more jarring to see animated 3D more than animated 2D.
Yeah.
And I can't wrap my head wide, but
because it invokes more feelings of. It invokes more feelings of Uncanny Valley. And
yeah,
Uncanny Valley is a recipe for making things awkward and not easy to absorb.
Like, to me, that's the feeling I got. That it felt like there's something that should be there, but there isn't.
Yeah.
And frankly, the movie itself of World of Warcraft was a little bit disappointing in there as a result. All I know is that they brought one of the actors in it because, guess what? Because he starred in the Viking series.
Wait, who? Start what? Sorry.
One of the main protagonists of the Warcraft movie, one of the human commanders one, he's one of the main protagonists of a TV series called Vikings. At least he was. He was the one that actually played as Ragnar Lodbrok in it. So I felt that they basically only hired him because of, television fame.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, the Mario movie. Look at the streaming. Look at the cast of all-star Hollywood power that was the Mario movie, right? You literally have all these big names, and I'm not gonna knock on how well people like Jack Black did, because Jack Black did fantastic. The guy Charlie Day did a pretty good Luigi. The guy that played Kamek was fantastic. And I mean, all things considered, I didn't think what was his name? I didn't think that he played a bad Mario at all.
Chris Pratt.
Chris Pratt, yeah. Chris Pratt did not play a bad Mario. But he didn't play the Mario everyone was expecting. I could get into how that should all feel, and there's not necessarily just the one Mario, because there's other Marios throughout the history of the Mario Brothers.
Yeah, but the thing is, there can be a bit of a difference. At least that movie was fully animated on itself. It wasn't a weird mix between between real life and the movie of Warcraft should have gone full animated if they actually wanted to go full with it.
Yeah,
it would have actually made more sense in it, considering the pedigree of Blizzard.
True. No, you're not wrong at all.
But remember, the pedigree of Blizzard is all about animated cutscenes.
Well,
They're
yeah.
good in that
I mean,
department.
and that would have been a really interesting thing if they'd got their actual, if they got their actual, there we go. If they got their actual animators and their cutscene makers to actually try and, you know, hey, we're gonna do stuff and actually make this really awesome. We're gonna make this really awesome full-length movie out of our cinematics crew. You know, set people aside, do some stuff, but then it's like, what are you gonna do about it?
Yeah, I suppose so, but when it comes to that kind of shit, in the end, when it comes to that kind of shit, probably there was too many things going on for the movie to actually make any coherent sense. And
well, and unfortunately, and I've kind of come to terms with this myself because everyone was begging Riot to make like a full, even just like a 30-minute animated series or this or that, or whatever. You know, they've got a lot on their plate. They're doing quite a bit, and they are a smaller team than an actual Hollywood production team.
I was never too interested in their setting. They neutered their setting a little bit too much, and I have little interest in it.
Yeah, sure, and that's, you know, that's your prerogative. But for the people that were really, really interested in it, it's the reality is that they were a smaller team on a shorter budget without as much, and the experience one way or another, that doesn't matter. They were on a shorter budget with less people doing work for other stuff in the meantime.
I suppose that's the
so it's just a really big back and forth, right? Like if you wanted to make gun parts.
Yep.
We just need to yeah. There's a lot of stuff out this way. But yeah, I mean, I have every understanding that, you know, just because they are good at making animated cutscenes, and they may make most of a movie's worth through the production of an entire game, they're a small team with probably less budget than you would think for something like that.
You would think, considering the kind of game that they host.
Yeah. And then, yeah.
But overall, when it comes to like the workings of this kind of thing, I can agree that Riot, in comparison to Blizzard, it can unironically be called a smaller studio in comparison.
I mean, I'm not gonna argue in one way or another. There, they both have big Chinese money backing them at this point.
Yep. They might as well have replace their internal dollar accounting with yuan accounting at this rate.
Yeah, like at this point, it just, who knows? I don't even care anymore. Blizzard has done so much shit. Like, and we're playing a 2K game at the same time, and it's like, look at fucking 2K. What are we talking about? Like, 2K is also cancer to a degree. The ways that they've destroyed their own production and their own everything else, it's like, oh, come on.
Yeah,
like, I'm playing an older version of a game rather than the newest and greatest because I just don't respect them. Oh, hey.
Well, more than you have taste.
Taste? I don't have taste. I have trash taste. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? You're not the one basically running off to pre-order the latest Cock of Duty game.
Cock of Duty.
Oh, fuck me. I think I just said something that violates the TOS. Don't ban me, Twitch Sama. Don't ban me, Twitch Sama, please.
Ban you? It's my stream.
But they're gonna also, but nowadays they say that off-site behavior is not condoned, so I'm probably on the chopping block too.
Oh boy. Don't worry, you're gonna be fine. Are we really one gun part short? Alright.
Yeah, it seems. Here's a funny thing when it comes to it. Have you seen the kind of shit storytelling that World of Warcraft has been going on ever since Wrath of the Lich King?
Oh, hey, people.
Oh.
Halfway decent taste. You got Fiera for a friend. Hi. What's up, Sandra?
Well, we actually got the super berries coming in. Well, at least
No, what's up?
berries.
Yeah, no, we're here chatting and talking shit. We're just gonna have fun. What's up, Sandra?
Yep. Hello, Sandra, and hello, Spring Draco. Hopefully, you guys having a good time right now. Today's the subject of the day has been basically about how Blizzard sucked Donkey Dick, or at least what made it suck Donkey Dick.
And it's kind of like, well, it was doomed to happen. World of Warcraft got so big, and it was just like, then Activision Blizzard came and just ruined everything. Is that it? That's the part.
That seems right? That seems right? When it comes to what we were telling, Fiora, I think you were up to date on what the fuck they've been doing with some of the storytelling of World of Warcraft ever since Cataclysm, right?
Oh yeah.
I used to be a huge Warcraft fan.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it's Bonehead.
Then they started pulling.
Oh shit! He dropped his unique item. Someone want to take a look at that? It might not be for me. It might be a better item for someone else.
I'll take a look at it.
It's a bandit style SMG.
Lead wind blows. Yeah, no, we're doing good. I'm like I've said before, Sandra, I work 50 to 60 hours a week right now. This is the highlight of my week. When I get my 2 days off, I'm way better.
Let's see, what's this? Ranger makes you better at everything. I need the best thing on this. Increases the damage from normal mental but this is pretty cool with all
Yeah.
Increases magazine, close killing. Okay, now I got my stuff. Let's see. But yeah, you were saying something, Fiora. What the hell is... You said that you were a big Warcraft fan, and
I knew the lore inside and out, the personalities of the characters, and then they start going off the rails. Their first big mistake was when they turned Sylvanas into a big bad villain.
Like how would you call it? Genocidal psycho bitch?
Yeah.
That's a good way of putting it. Yeah.
Her whole entire arc of payback and that died with Arthas. That was her big grievance.
Yeah.
Once he died, things were more or less squared out with her. And the Forsaken, the undead, the sentient undead, were given opportunity to have their own place.
After all, they did contribute to basically killing off Arthas, so no better proof of innocence.
But somewhere in there, they decided they weren't satisfied with just having her being the equivalent of an anti-heroine. So they turned her into the next big bad, and then they tried to extend it. Oh well, there's more to the story than what's happened in this particular installment, and it just got stupider and stupider and stupider. And stupider.
Didn't they make her burn down the world tree?
I think so. Yeah, because the Night Elves were under sufferance because of her. Yeah.
That's stupid.
Yeah, it was actually like they burned down the world tree. Oh, hey, there's Saturn.
I'm genuinely shocked. Shocked, I tell you.
Well, not that shocked.
Also, who the fuck is that big,
it's Saturn.
Big oversized thing? Oh,
it's their
fuck
big old jumbo. All right, where's my Jacobs? Get me up on top of the thing so I can start blasting it.
You're basically... Look, what you just described me there, Fiora, that's basically Kerrigan, what they pulled there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Kerrigan has a lot more involved story. A lot more. And at least they tied together everything she did and what was going on into a decent arc.
Yeah, until basically until Heart of the Swarm happened.
Yeah.
But still, though, I mean, why the fuck did they decide to make Sylvanas the next big bad villain?
Because they were running out of ideas. They were running out of ideas, and they needed to keep the cash cow milking, and of course you can't do that. So, oh, suicide drones. That's what those are.
Huh. So that's what what's all about. It was all for the sake of actually trying to keep a series going that ran out of ideas.
Basically. Are you surprised?
A little bit, just a little bit, but I guess Arthas was the thing that was keeping Warcraft alive after all.
How do you kill that which has no life?
Right? How do you kill that which has no life? That's a good point.
Crap.
Like,
I'm bad.
I'm one of those that basically, for some reason, why the fuck did they actually make her the war chief of the horde? I thought they were setting Vol'jin up to be the boss of the
You would
horde.
think, right? Like, you would think that, you know, at some point they're like, oh, well, why don't we try this? This would be interesting.
Like, didn't they set up Vol'jin to be basically the next big boss of the
Dying
horde?
again. Someone get over here and revive me.
Gotcha. Oh no.
Alright, I'm back.
Finally, that thing
He's dead?
dies.
He dead.
Yep.
Alright.
Boom.
Nice shot.
Yeah, I had a pretty decent acid sniper.
Spring Draco comments saying, sounds like the Need for Speed franchise.
Yep. I would
Clarification, I'm ignorant on the whole issue of Need for Speed. Has it followed a similar arc?
I mean, are you surprised? Are you surprised that something that goes that long has to feel the need to completely destroy their story to remain relevant?
I mean, no, I'm not surprised anymore.
Look at the
considering what
Fast and
you're
Furious.
telling me.
Yeah, it's this one.
Fast and Furious. Does anyone even realize what that shit is about anymore?
No, I don't think they realize what it's about anymore, and they make the damn game, or they make the damn movie. Like I said, are you surprised that they're just like
I think I clocked out when I saw that Fast and Furious movie in which they actually sent the car into space. When I saw that, I was like, you know what? Yes, I'm done. I'm completely done with the series.
Yeah,
but-
no, I gave up.
I gave up when that happened. You only watched the first 3, but that was the kill that without life.
Yeah, how does the one?
Yep, that seems about right. I mean, how
does someone kill that which has no life?
Yep. Oh god, I got teleported down for some reason. Or at least I fell down. I don't know what happened.
Ah.
Yeah, I got knocked down too.
Who's the kicker when it comes to that whole thing?
This gun or mine?
I'm not even sure why they went with that. Oh, I'm lagging all over the place.
Oh shit.
I think I'm having a bit of a lag issue. But it's ironic how they had this thing going, and personally, if it were to me, World of Warcraft probably should have ended after Wrath of the Lich King.
You know, I don't think you're wrong. I think there were issues. They should have done different things, but you know.
Because
oh, there's no way. I
here's
got
the thing,
way too far up ahead.
Oh yeah. Oh, I cannot get in there. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die if I keep going forward.
No, I'm dead. I'll just respawn and walk. Gives me time to pour another bourbon.
Yep. Pour yourself a bourbon.
I'm almost out of my regular drinking bourbon.
Smelling. At the end, when it came to the whole issue, that game should have ended after Wrath of the Lich King. Because how do you go from there?
I mean,
how do you go from there? You killed the last big bad villain that was threatening the entire world, which was the Lich King.
Yeah.
The Lich King and his Scourge.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking, and I don't even want to know if I can try to fathom it. But beyond the general idea that they were just thinking about how to keep the story going so they could keep making money, because you can't just end it, right?
No, of course, you gotta continue it because you gotta milk the pay piggy some more.
And I hate that term, but yeah, that's absolutely correct. It's
I'm
something.
sorry if you hate the term, I hate it too, but that's how they see us. That's how they see us. We're pay piggies for
The
them.
fact that they call them whales in the industry, that is an industry term. It is disgusting.
Yeah.
The fact that they even remotely consider whales, quote unquote, as a resource to be milked. Ow. Alright, fine.
Ow, you okay?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm just... badass loader.
It's funny how in the end, that's a thing that I never considered. What's the purpose of the whales when it comes to that thing, besides of basically being milked?
That's it. That's exactly it.
That seems not right. And have they actually started to refer them officially as whales, too?
Well, that's an industry term. That's what they're referred to in certain parts of the industry by the professionals that make the games.
I guess some companies really do see you as nothing but a walking wallet.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's
Holy
like
cow.
95% of the income from the industry, from some people in the industry, is they really do just make that much money off of you. So they don't see any reason to. Oh yeah, here.
They don't see any way to basically treat you with any kind of respect. The only respect you'll get from them is basically if you invest $3,000 per day in their mobile apps.
Yeah, and that's the point. There was a game that I used to play, one of those like idle incremental games. They straight up said that, hey, we noticed that while we were processing payments, we would receive significant numbers of payments from people that that it was all they did. They paid that much money constantly on things that, on a free-to-play game. And while we hoped that these were all people that had it within their means to pay that much money, we were sure that that was not entirely the case. Some class mods, commando mod.
A commando mod.
Way up top, yeah.
I'll see if I can make it up top because
It's
I
right
have
there, yeah.
Yeah, but you're fighting I'm fighting an invisible enemy called Lag right now.
Oh, you want me to shoot it in the face?
Let's see.
I'm rubber banding a little bit myself.
Oh shit,
Exactly,
really?
that's what's happening.
Oh
You're
god.
rubber banding.
Ah.
But Fiona, I actually didn't know you were that invested in Warcraft before. I'm guessing I'm
I
learning.
played the very first Warcraft game when it was brand spanking new.
Oh wow, that's actually wait. Is that the one that was like legendary because they added in Fog of War?
Warcraft orcs versus humans.
Yeah, Warcraft 2, Warcraft Tides of War, Warcraft 3, and its expansion. The only thing of the Warcraft, holy cow! I just rubber band straight off the platform again.
Oh shit.
Let me see. The only thing I never got the chance to play was an expansion they put out that you could only grab if you had an internet connection, and at the time I didn't have internet.
That's unfortunate. Has anyone? I wonder if anyone's been able to ever find
But
it.
I still have all three Warcraft.
That's actually pretty cool.
I'm guessing that being a Warcraft fan nowadays is the equivalent of being a Star Wars fan, isn't it?
Don't get me started on that.
Yeah, we're gonna be focusing on
because I saw the first Star Wars when it first hit theaters.
The very first one. It's
The very first one.
It's kind of funny that you mentioned it because me and my dad actually managed to find the theatrical version of the first Star Wars movie.
That's actually really neat. Like the theatrical version of the first Star Wars is legendary, and as much respect. I've talked about this before, actually.
Good on you.
As much respect as you have for Lucas, you mean? Or...
So,
George Lucas was iconic.
Well, and this is the way I've talked about this before. George Lucas is basically a very well-known and very successful Neil Breen. And I feel bad. I feel bad to a degree for all the things that he's that have happened over the years with his stuff now. But when you really look at it, he took a good idea, and then he reiterated on it, and he said, "We need to change this. We need to change that. We need to do these. We have to change these little details here." And he kept re-releasing and remastering his versions of his stuff until it got to that point where it's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, dude, what are you doing? No, like, there's a reason that whole persistent meme of Han Solo shot first is a thing. Because he kept being like, well, what if we did this instead? And he kept wanting to remaster it, redo these things.
Yeah, redo it over and over and over again. Also, I rubber banded myself to an abyss in the middle of the plaza, so I died.
Uh-oh. Wait, how?
Yes, I rubber banded myself to death. Basically, rubber band. Oh, that's fun.
Ellen, I was just talking about you. Now you.
But seriously, when it comes to the whole conundrum of this, I'm very sorry about the current state of Warcraft. But
yeah.
I'm one of those that didn't play a lot of the MMOs, but even I am one of those that says that few people didn't deserve this kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, and that's the same way I feel about, it's funny, this is the exact same way that I feel about Star Wars. Kathleen, these people did not deserve Kathleen Kennedy. I enjoyed Star Wars. I've seen them all, except for the new ones. I saw Rogue One and I saw Episode 7, and that was it. I gave up on it. I thought Episode 7 was okay. It wasn't that bad, and then I was just like, this is probably going to be even worse, and sure enough, it was. So I just
it got worse.
Yeah, well, things go bad when the individual who played Luke, Mark Hamill, said that he wasn't playing Luke.
Oh, he was playing Jake
Skywalker. He said that in an interview. He said that was not Luke Skywalker. That was somebody with his last name. But it wasn't Luke. That was not his Luke.
Yep. It's, how you call it? It's ironic on how that shit went down with that. Not only that, let me put it this way, Aaron.
Yeah.
The 8th one was the movie that basically broke me when it came to the thing of Star Wars.
I think that's the way it was with a lot of people.
Yeah, because where do we begin from that? From the dumb scene of the bombers attacking a super destroyer that somehow looked like fucking hairdressers to me.
Does anyone want this level 50 blue shield? It's 3,700 capacity. Sorry, 37,000 capacity. 39% bonus elemental resistance against the last type of elemental damage it received, and plus 11,000 health. If anyone wants it, I'll give it up. I'm not.
Is there a drawback to that? Is there what's the catch?
It's an adaptive shield. It's one of the ones I got from the quest. There's really no drawback. I mean, whatever, depending on your recharge rate and delay. I don't know.
Let's see.
I'll just drop it here in front of
me.
There you go.
I can't equip it yet though, but
level 50. You gotta be getting close.
Yeah, I'm getting quite close to it. So increase elemental resistance. Yeah, you know what? Sure. I'll take the property of it.
Oh, this is a Hyperion weapon. Never mind. I hate that wibble wobble until you shoot it half a dozen times to straighten it out.
Yeah. Well,
even though the damage is significant.
Let's see.
Jack, kill Jack, kill Jack, kill Jack. Kill Jack. Okay.
Oh, Kardik just came online.
Kardik just came in? Okay, let's go. Funny how when it comes to like the current state of entertainment, we are just basically three people here shit talking and having more fun shit talking than watching or playing anything else.
Well, I mean, at some point the problem becomes like, you know, if they take it in good stride and they say we got good reviews, we got bad reviews, let's take the shit talking and the criticism in good stride and then say this is what we want to do, then that's one thing. Mm-hmm. But if they want to try and censor bad takes and bad if they want to try and censor all of the bad criticism and all of the negative reviews so they can drum up more money, then they've lost it, because that means that they don't care about the quality of their product, they just care about making the money. And when you reach that point, then everything's lost. They don't care anymore.
It's funny how we've come to this situation in the end, but you know what? It's like the guy of Red Letter Media said once, how does it feel to see your favorite franchises go down in flames?
You die a hero, you live long enough to be a villain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's exactly how I feel about Mario RPG. Because, like, Super Mario RPG, Legend of the Seven Stars, it never saw another sequel, and it lived on in infamy as one of the greatest games ever made that nobody ever got to see sequels of. But then, suddenly, it stopped getting any attention other than fan attention. We never saw another Geno. We saw nothing more than teasers and me Gunner skins on Smash Brothers. And now here we are, and people are literally screaming and crying that we finally got a remaster. As opposed to the Paper Mario series, which has got numerous iterations and numerous sequels, and they've just slowly gotten worse over time. You have your apologists for the games like Super Paper Mario and Color Splash, but the reality is that they're not as good as the original two Paper Mario games, and they never will be.
They never will be, because here's the funny thing though, the whole issue with the Paper Mario series I've discovered recently is that the whole paper aspect of Paper Mario was a thing that was just there. It had no, it had no importance to anything else. The characters still believed that they were in a real world, in a sense, or at least their version of the real world.
No, but if you actually play the 1,000-Year Door, the second one for the GameCube, which is one of my personal 10 of 10 games of all time, you actually see them starting to reference the paper aspect. You see them, like, they crack jokes about how, like one of the things, your abilities start turning you, like, you turn flat, or you roll up into a little paper roll, you turn into a paper airplane, and you fly around. Like, that's part of the gag, and that was one of the best things that they ever did.
It's part of the gag, but it was also explained away as curses.
Yeah, but still, I mean, the fact that they're very subtle about that whole paper aspect is just really funny to me. Yeah, again, it's what I understand if it's less for you. I just thought it was fucking great.
It's not that it's less for me. You didn't let me finish.
Oh, sorry.
It's more that it's just that the actual thing is that in 1,000-Year Door it was subtle, and it was funny because it was subtle in that regard. In the new Paper Mario series, they don't even bother hiding that they're in a world of paper.
Yeah.
Or at least they're not. It's not as subtle anymore. It's not as funny anymore.
Yeah, and that's kind of the thing. Is like it's funny when it's little subtle nods and bits and stuff. Are you guys ready to go? I'm ready whenever we're. Oh, we gotta go Claptrap first.
I'm not even sure if I. Yeah, talk to Claptrap first, but the thing is, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to stay because remember, it can get quite late a little bit over here, and I'm still rubber banding as hell.
Oh yeah, that's right. That sucks.
I'm still rubber banding as hell over here. It's himself basically saying literally unplayable.
Yeah. Are we at least able to finish at least, like, open this door?
At the very least, probably. Here's the thing, though. In general, when it comes to like the modern state of things, I discovered myself that you have to make your own entertainment at this rate. At least get your own funnies, as I say. Your own.
Warrior, even if it means taking me out. Death and a damsel.
Brick and I will meet you out in Heroes Pass. Win or lose, we're gonna finish this together.
We might not make it, Slab, but I want you to know. It's been a hell of a lot of fun.
A little higher? Yeah.
Oh God. It's funny now that I think about it. This was one hell of a debate topic today.
It was, yeah.
And it has
Actually, quite a bit of attention, too. That's the best part.
Yep. It's, here's the thing, though. In the end, maybe, I don't know where things are gonna go considering the current state of things. We might be... There are people that claim that they want to see a second video game crash, but, you then remember the same people that always say the whole thing of too big to fail.
Yeah, well, and that's the thing, right? Like, yeah, I go back and forth on it because I don't think we're gonna see a game crash the way that we saw before. At some point, there's gotta be some kind of other impetus to cause a big gaming crash. It's gotta get to the point where they just straight up, they just straight up like have to have legislation against them because, hey, like you're actually trying to make people addicted to these products, and it's not cool. But that's gonna be so hard to do.
But what about what about the fears that apparently government overreach could be involved in that kind of legislation?
I don't like nanny state politics. I'll just be completely honest about that. Like, let me be perfectly clear about that. I have no love lost for nanny state politics.
That's the thing. That's the thing, though. When is this kind of legislation? When could it possibly turn into, as you say it, nanny state politics?
When nanny state politics refers to this idea that the government knows what's better for you than you actually do yourself, right? So that's nanny state politics is what California and Australia are really well known for.
Classic California.
Yeah. Come on,
Classic
Blackjack.
California.
Open! Access denied. Yeah.
Someone should throw this little bot into a fucking trash compactor.
He's the worst part about this game. Alright, let's go, let's go.
I will sometimes
yeah, Spring Draco, you're right. Magic the Gathering, Dungeons and Dragons, like, it keeps happening.
It keeps happening, and in the worst cases, in the case of Dungeons and Dragons and Wizards of the Coast, you might even get a visit from the Pinkertons.
That's the hardest part to believe, that they actually did that. Someone pick me up. I'm on the floor.
Yes, I'm going.
Sorry.
You're fine. Do tell. I mean, that's the case I've been hearing, that apparently they got the Pinkertons on their payroll.
Yeah. Yeah, you said it, Claptrap. God fucking damn it.
Alright, imagine having the Pinkertons,
Well, and their first mistake was letting them inside. Their first mistake was literally letting them in the door in the first place.
Let me get you up here. Oh, that is if I'm not gonna die first. Ooh.
Granted.
It actually worked.
Alright, I got some now.
We got a warloader just behind us.
I got him. And I got this warloader.
Oh boy.
And hot loader.
Memes of the when Ilulu from Kobayashi Dragon Maid Shirt Birth destroys the Super Star Destroyer. Here's that scene in the movie breaks a foundational world-building rule. Yep, you're correct. That whole scene basically breaks one of the foundational rules of Star Wars. You wanna know, Aaron, what the rule he means?
No, what does he mean?
Hyperdrive. Hyperdrive in Star Wars was only used to travel between point A and B. In the 8th movie, they somehow use it to basically wreck the Super Star Destroyer and its entire fleet around it. Like basically slam something at hyperspeed towards it. Which brings the main question. If that kind of thing was possible, why didn't they just throw a hyperwave the X-Wing into the Death Star? It was destroyed it.
X-Wings don't have that in the first place. That would be a very interesting... oh shit. Oh god.
What do you mean? X-Wings can jump into hyperspace that by themselves.
Oh, can they? Am I stupid? I might be stupid.
Yes, they can. They have a hyperdrive.
Okay.
They have a hyperdrive. Most rebel vessels, including the smaller vessels, actually do. The ones that don't have them is the TIE fighters. They depend on basically docking into a Star Destroyer before jumping into hyperspace.
I got this badass. There we go.
But yeah, that's the thing. Basically, if that were a thing that could happen, they could have actually just sent an X-Wing and accelerated it into hyperspace and thrown it into the Death Star. It would have destroyed it nevertheless. No bullshit of having to actually find the weak spot and blow it up.
Yeah. I mean, at some point, they just don't understand. But then again, even George Lucas, to a certain point, was not really understanding the whole point about some of these properties that he was creating. Like, what was the Force in the first place? A Jedi used to only have Force powers that were able to, in small doses, they were only able to, in small doses, create effects that were useful for niche scenarios. Like being able to recover your lightsaber if you had dropped it, or being able to shift the mind of people in a certain direction. But then it became more and more feature creep and this and that and everything else. Is it time?
They became superpowers.
Depleted.
Yep, they became superpowers. Yeah. That's what happened.
And then they became superpowers, and then you're slowly like, well, okay, then it became like agility, and then this, and you know, the dark side I can understand having stuff like Force lightning, and you know, the Force choke was always a cool thing that's always been around, but
here's the thing, though. You know where he drew concepts about the Force, George Lucas, I mean?
I've heard this one before, but remind me. Go ahead, say it.
He drew a lot of inspiration from Eastern mysticism in general.
Yeah,
like,
I remember.
What about the concept of the chi and whatnot?
Well, there's a blue psycho.
Blue psycho?
Oh,
yeah.
Something for me. Okay, I'm on my way.
Yeah. Don't know if it's worth anything to you, but it's here.
Yeah, I'm walking.
Basically, George Lucas drew a lot of influences from both the concept of chi and, of course, a healthy dosage of Kurosawa films.
No, I remember that the original concept for Darth Vader was heavily inspired by that. I do remember that much. I have seen that in I don't remember where in the Seattle area, but there was a shut up. Shut up, Claptrap. Jesus.
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Oh, man.
Alright, is this where we call it? This is a good place
yes, I believe this is a good place to call it in.
Okay, well, but yeah, no, there was a place out in Seattle, I'm trying to remember. They had a whole museum and a big chunk there's a whole museum to entertainment and the arts, and one of the segments there was dedicated to Star Wars and George Lucas and all of his stuff, and they had concept pictures and concept art. That's very much an inspired thing. Yeah, shut up, Claptrap is literally 90% of Borderlands. You're 100% correct. I can't
Yep.
fucking
Yeah,
stand
right?
for how much they
90% of
play up the
Borderlands.
joke. It's just an excuse for them to keep paying that voice actor money to be annoying little fuck. And I'm gonna give all of the praise to that voice actor. He did his job fantastically. Absolutely, he did his job fantastically. It was great, but I cannot stand Claptrap. Fucking Christ.
Yeah, and in 3 he gets worse.
Oh,
In 3
no.
he gets way, way worse.
Oh no.
How the fuck does he get way worse, Sierra? How the fuck does he get worse from this?
You would
What the
have
fuck does this motherfucker do?
No, let's not. No, I'll pass. If this is where we're gonna stop, then I appreciate it, everyone. Thank you guys for joining me. I'm gonna switch to an AFK, switch to an ad, and I'm gonna come back with. I'm actually gonna come back with Big the Cat story on Sonic Adventure DX. I have not played this, so I'm kind of excited to see how fucking bad it gets because I've heard it's rage-inducing.
What do you mean by rage-inducing?
I'm gonna drop in and take a look at that then, because I don't think I've ever seen that one either.
It's a lot of fishing. It's fishing. But yeah, so thanks guys for joining me. Say goodbye.
Yep.
Yep.
Anytime.
Anytime, buddy. Have a good one there.
This episode's sponsored by Kentucky Bourbon. Try Bullet Bourbon.
Okay then. Have a good one there, buddy.
Have a good one. Thanks again, Martin. Thanks again,
Yep.
Fiera.
Nah, thanks to you, Aaron, for hosting us here, man. It's always
course.
appreciated.
Anytime.
Yep. It's always a blast with you two.
Alrighty. Yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Thanks.
Yeah, thank you, Sarah. Very much appreciated. Have a good one yourself, too.
Yeah, bye. Alrighty, guys. We're gonna go ahead and swap over